Charlie Toom on Bailey here. So this week I thought I would give some tips that you should know if you're planning on living in France. So let's get started. So if you're coming to France, you may think that means you're going to automatically be eating a lot of French food. This is not entirely true. If you're coming as a tourist, yes, you'll probably be eating a lot of French food because you'll be eating at the tourist places. The tourist places are, however, the only places you can get cheap French food, at least in the big cities. Like in Paris, if you want to have a French dinner, it's going to cost you about 20 euros a person. So that might not be a lot if you're in the middle of like your career or you're a tourist or something. But if you're a student, that's probably a little bit out of your price range on a week-to-week basis. Instead, you'll be eating lots of Asian food. There's lots of immigrant populations in Paris, and so there are very affordable Chinese, Japanese, Indian, any type of Asian food you want, you can find, and it's going to be around 10 euros for your dinner, which is much more affordable. So something you may think about Paris is that it's very hard to navigate. This is not true. The metro is very easy to navigate, and it will take you a half an hour to get anywhere from anywhere. This is just true. I don't know why, it just is. So that's how big Paris is. 1/2 hour to get anywhere. Seriously, it takes me a half an hour to get to my French university all the way in the east of Paris in the 13th, and then it takes me a half an hour to get from my house to my Smith University, which is by Montparnasse, and it takes me a half an hour to get between the two. So it really, a half an hour. This is what you should budget to get anywhere in Paris. The other thing is, Paris is very walkable. You'll find your way shortly. You may not know the names of the streets you're turning on, but you'll recognize the area you're in, and soon enough you'll find a major landmark and you'll know exactly where you are. It's kind of weird how easy it is to walk around. For a city known for lots of winding cobblestone streets, it's not that hard. You will get the hang of it pretty quickly. Okay, so if you're speaking French, this one's gonna come up, but if you're not, this is just a fun tidbit to know. So when I say the word baguette, you've probably thought of the eponymous bread that you see sticking out of every shopping bag in the world, in every movie. But this is not an exaggeration in France. You buy basically 1 baguette per person per day, so everyone always has a baguette. It's very standard. But what's fun is that the word baguette does not specifically mean this piece of bread. The word baguette is used for basically anything that's long and stick-like. For example, in Harry Potter, Harry uses a baguette magique, magic wand. If you're going to one of those Chinese or Japanese places I told you about before, you'll be using a baguette chinoise, a chopstick. The word shows up everywhere, and it's never not funny when it does. So if you're staying in Paris for a long amount of time, you will eventually get a craving for some ridiculous American food. If this is Starbucks or McDonald's, you're in luck. They're all over. If it's a prepackaged food item, it's going to be a little more difficult. You can definitely find most of the products we have in the US. They'll be in the American food section of a grocery store, like, because it's ethnic food. It's really sad, actually. You go to a grocery store and it's like the Asian section, and it's like coconut milk and rice and like healthy things. And same thing with like Spanish, it'll have like chorizo, stuff like that, and then you get to the American section and it's all like prepackaged chips and cookies and stuff. And Twinkies. Yeah, you can get Twinkies here. The thing about all this is it's gonna have a huge markup, say like 7 euros for this much peanut butter. And then there's always gonna be some stuff you can't find. I recently decided I wanted goldfish for perhaps the first time in 2 years. And I looked online, and you cannot get goldfish in France at all. So bear that in mind. I've also seen Doritos, this much, 7 euro bag. So it's there sometimes, but you're gonna have to pay dearly for it. Especially since if you're used to them being absolutely dirt cheap in the US, it's because they're imported now. Your Twinkies are automatically fancier now that they've crossed an ocean. My last tip is rather incredibly specific, but I think you'll thank me. So when you go to a larger grocery store in France, you will find an entire wall of mustard. and mayonnaise and oils, because it is France, remember. You're okay picking almost any of the mustards, but you're not going to find honey mustard here because that's frowned upon. You can make your own. Just be careful if you pick up something that says moutarde fort. This means strong mustard, and the best analogy I can have to make you understand is that it is mustard wasabi. There is no wasabi in it, but you will be convinced there is. If you get too much in your mouth, your eyes will start watering and your sinuses will clear out. It's that kind of strong. So if you're looking for that, fine, go ahead, but if you're just looking for something to dip some French fries in, you will be in for a rude awakening, so be careful out there, guys. So there you have it. Those are some beginner's tips for living in Paris. I hope you liked it. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up and then hit the subscribe button. It'd be really awesome if you did. I'll see you on Friday, but if you miss me in the meantime, don't forget that I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Soirishcream, and then I've got a blog which is linked below. I hope you have an excellent week, and I will see you when it's the weekend. Bye!